In 2018, my husband and I bought our house and noticed he was back there. I'm Ariel, and this is Marmy's story for GeoBeats.
Come on, Marms.
I noticed he was hanging out on our back deck. And over time, just seeing him out in the field, seeing him on the deck, I grew to start caring very deeply for him.
He's so pretty.
After a while, I started feeding him. I made shelters for him, left them all around the house.
Meow.
It even got to the point where we would go out of town. I bought an automatic feeder and everything to be out there just so he could have food while we would go out of town. I was constantly looking out the window to see where he was and make sure he was okay. After a while, I started getting brave enough to try to pet him. At first, I used my husband's welding gloves because I didn't know if he was going to try to, like attack me or anything. I was so excited. After years of just sitting there and watching him and feeding him and spending time with him, he's finally letting me pet him. And even though it was with a welding glove on, it was still very rewarding. We're talking 4 or 5 years to try to get him familiar with myself. I would buy little toys for him and play with him. And then ultimately what ended up happening was July of this year, he came by and he was kind of squinting in one of his eyes, and it looked like it was very painful. It was not looking good. I could tell he had lost weight. So that's when we decided to just trap him. Found a vet that would see him.
Hi.
We took him in, and ultimately there was a foxtail, one of those foxtail weeds that was lodged in his eye. So the vet was able to remove it. We had a regimen of oral antibiotics and pain medication for a couple weeks, along with some eye drops, which was a whole thing in itself. We had to keep him inside for a few weeks in order to do that.
That's mine.
And then one thing led to another. He adapted really well inside.
No.
We also found out during that time that his other eye, he's blind in. So his only visual seeing eye is the one that was injured. And at that point, we were like, okay, it's probably irresponsible to let him back out at this stage. So we decided to keep him. He's very sweet. When I call his name, he'll come running into the room just meowing. It's almost like he's letting me know he's here or he's coming. Or if I'm doing something and I haven't noticed him, he'll give a little meow. He follows me around everywhere, and if I walk past him and don't acknowledge him, talk to him, pet him, he'll run after me and like paw at my ankle, almost like he's like, hey, what about me? At this point, sometimes I'll open up the front door and I'll look and I can see he's kind of looking outside, and then he runs complete opposite direction. It's almost like, nope, not doing that again.